Got a comment coming in from Nasib Taylor. Do you think LeBron is going to push Lonzo out because of LeVar? No, I don't. I think the only way that Lonzo is going to end up out of Los Angeles is if he asked for a trade himself. I don't think the Lakers are going to go out of their way to trade him just because of LeVar. I think LeBron is fine with LeVar. Look, LeBron James, and I'm going to get a little personal here with his information, LeBron James did not grow up with an active father in his life. I think he sees someone like LeVar Ball and says, I know he's kind of annoying, but the dude is an active father in a black kid's life, in Lonzo Ball. And let's be honest, guys, the Ball family is wildly successful right now. Wildly successful because of LeVar. Regardless of what you think about him, the dude has made him and his family millions upon millions of dollars, which is the goal at the end of the day, right? I don't think LeBron is going to push him out. Got another cool comment here from Joseph. It's 20 to midnight in Australia, and I work 12 hours today, and I still always watch the show. We love you, Joseph. We love you. Thank you for joining us here on NBA Weekly on YouTube and on Facebook, the #1 live Facebook show that you will find anywhere on YouTube, especially for basketball. Make sure to watch the Cam Rogers Show, who alternates with me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday mornings. He's an hour earlier, though, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember to hit that subscription button as well to subscribe to us here on YouTube. You can also type in youtube.com/chatsportstv to access our channel. Look, this is the best sports channel on YouTube. We're not pumping out rando soccer highlights or any other bull crap like that. Baby. Straight up sports content for the best viewers in the world, the Chat Sports subscribers. Of course, hit that subscribe button for the best content on YouTube. All right, people. It is time. It is mailbag time! Woo! Mailbag time! Yay! Mailbag time! I've been waiting to do one of these for a while. I've been collecting your questions on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Facebook. So let's answer some of the best questions that you'll find on social media. We start with one of my biggest fans, Mahmoud Atik, on Twitter, saying, is it now finals or bust for the Raptors after trading DeMar DeRozan with 2 Z's away for a 1-year rental? Absolutely, 100%. This is the Raptors' move to make a finals. I know we were talking about like the LeBron move when the Clippers trade away Blake. This is the Raptors' finals move. They were not going to make the finals this year with DeMar DeRozan. And I understand why they traded him away, because they've failed so many times with this roster. But look, Kyle Lowry with Kawhi Leonard, with the rest of that roster, in theory, if Kawhi is healthy enough to make it to a finals, this team should be really, really good. I mean, if Kawhi comes back at 100%, think how good the Raptors are going to be. Seriously, they're going to be the second best team in the East and maybe one of the 5 or 6 best teams in all of basketball. So I do think that this is their chance to make the finals. I don't think they're actually going to the finals, but still, this is a very, very good basketball team. And I think with a healthy Kawhi, they're going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's get to our next question here. Another Toronto question. Can Toronto be better after this? Of course they can. If Kawhi Leonard is at 100%, which I don't think he's going to at first, if Kawhi Leonard is at 100% and gives 100% effort, the Raptors are a better team this year than they were last year. Straight up, DeRozan's a great player. Kawhi Leonard is a better player than DeMar DeRozan. All right, let's get to our next comment here. Next question from Purple Dragon 178 here on YouTube. How do you think Lonzo Ball will perform this season with LeBron? I think that Lonzo Ball is in line for a huge improvement over what we saw from him last year. I'm talking points per game are going to go up. His assists per game are going to go up. His rebounds per game will probably stay the same, simply because he already rebounds at an unbelievable level for a point guard. But my prediction at the top for Lonzo Ball's stats this year, 13.5 points per game, 8.2 assists per game, 7.5 rebounds. I think LeBron is going to do wonders for him on offense. He's going to get a lot more open looks this year than he did last year. And like we saw, Paul Pierce mentioned this when they brought in Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. The dude's shooting percentage just went up because he had never had so many open shots before. He missed so many open shots that first year with KG and Ray Allen because he just wasn't used to having open looks. And I think Lonzo Ball is going to do a lot of great things on offense this year because of that spacing that LeBron James is going to give them. Next question from Mike Johnson. Why do functioning humans in 2018 still believe sports are real and not just fake entertainment? I don't really know how to respond to that one, but I think sports are real. I'm real. Kawhi Leonard's real. LeBron's real. What's fake? Are you real? I don't think so, Mike. Let's go to our next question. Bray3185. Hold on. Before I answer this question, I need to give a shout out to Bray3185. Bray watches every single one of our shows here at Chat Sports. He comments on all of our videos. He is an active participant in all of our live shows. Bray, we love you here at Chat Sports, and we appreciate the amount of effort and attention that you give this channel. Love you, Bray. Thank you for all of your comments. If you're a kid, then I don't actually love you, but you know, thank you for watching all of our stuff here. Let's get to his question. If Clint Capella and Marcus Smart don't sign with the Rockets and the Celtics, where do you think they will go? Well, Marcus Smart already signed with the Celtics today. Going to collect myself here. If Clint Capella doesn't end up going to the Rockets, maybe the Kings. I mean, there aren't a lot of teams at this point that actually have space in order to bring in Clint Capella. It's not going to be the Kings because they have so many guys down low with Bagley, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Harry Giles. But, I mean, at this point, it's kind of Rockets or bust. There really isn't a team out there that's going to give him the deal that he wants. Maybe he signs the one-year qualifying offer with the Rockets and is an unrestricted free agent next year, but I don't think that Clint Capella is going to go to any other team for next year other than the Rockets. All right, let's go to our next question. Arthur Jackson, who will be the MVP next season? Well, I'll say this. It's going to be LeBron James. It's going to be LeBron. It's going to be LeBron. Look, the Lakers have not made the playoffs in 5 years, okay? This is the Lakers we're talking about. This is not the Suns or the Grizzlies. The Lakers have not made the playoffs in 5 years. The team didn't even win 40 games last year. If LeBron comes in and takes all these kids to the Western Conference Finals and gets a top 3 seed in the West, LeBron's the MVP. I'm sorry. I know that we're doing everything in our power that is humanly possible to not give LeBron James another MVP trophy, but if the Lakers are a top 3 seed in the West, LeBron's going to win the MVP trophy. He deserves it. He 100% deserves it if they're a top 3 or 4 team in the West and they make it to the Western Conference Finals. I know that the MVP has nothing to do with the playoffs, but that's crap. So who's going to win the MVP next season? Let me know in the comments section below. I think it's LeBron. It has to be, doesn't it? He has to be your early prediction for MVP, just with how much of an improvement the Lakers are going to make from last year to this year. LeBron, for me, I'll say it's LeBron until the cows come home. He should have won last year, should have won the year before. LeBron James should be the MVP every year, just like Mike Trout should be the MVP of the MLB every single year as well. All right, let's get to our next one here. I'm going to say this so wrong. Shait Magad ASF. How'd I do? Lena, did I do okay? I got a shaky hand from her. Who is the missing piece from Boston to beat Golden State? There isn't one. There is no missing piece right now for Boston to beat Golden State because we do not know how this team is going to fare against the Golden State Warriors. Honestly, guys, and I say this with obviously, a lot of pushback. I know that this is not going to be a popular statement. At this moment, we do not know if the Celtics are worse than the Warriors. For all we know, people, this lineup of Kyrie Irving, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, and Jason Tatum could be the best lineup in the history of basketball, put up numbers that we have never seen before in the NBA, and wipe the Warriors off the planet. We don't know. We have no idea. They could also be terrible. This Celtics team could also be a 6 or 7 team in the East. We have no idea how good this Celtics team is yet. So there is no missing piece because we're not sure if there even is any piece that is missing. It's going to be exciting to see what the Celtics bring to the table this year, but we have no idea what the Celtics are going to look like this year. So I hope that's good enough for you. Emperor Halicon says, or Halcyons, excuse me, who are your dark horses for the draft that nobody is talking about? Made up a little list for you here. We got the Lakers shooting guard Svi Mykhailiuk, who looked fan-freaking-tastic in Summer League, ended up making the bench on my all-Summer League team. I think Jalen Brunson is going to be a great NBA player. He's going to be really, really fun with Luka Doncic and Dennis Smith Jr., along with DeAndre Jordan. I think Grayson Allen is the perfect fit with the Utah Jazz. Elliot Kobo is going to end up being the Suns' starting point guard by the end of the season. You can book that. And then I think Anthony Simmons gives the Blazers an option to trade C.J. McCollum or Damian Lillard at the trade deadline if the team is not performing well. I love the Simons pick. I commended that heavily during the actual NBA draft. Go watch our coverage, by the way. It was a fantastic show. Cam Rogers and I holding it down during the NBA draft. Let's get to our next question here. Gary Vermontes says, do you think Josh Hart should start over KCP? I don't think that KCP should start for this team, nor do I think Josh Hart should start for this team. I think this should be the Lakers starting lineup. I think it should be Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, Mo Wagner. Get as much length onto this team as you possibly can, and let your second team be, Rondo, Josh Hart, KCP. You shuffle it around. You put Ingram at the 3 and the 4 and the 2. Look, I don't think the Lakers are going to have a number 1 starting lineup next year. This is a very, very versatile basketball team who can put out a lot of different lineups depending on the situation. I think Josh Hart will start some games. I think KCP will start some games. Lance Stevenson's going to start some games. They're going to do a lot of different things with this lineup. I don't think they're going to have a number 1 rotation that is really going to, blow people away. So we'll see what ends up happening with the Lakers starting lineup. Let's get to our next question here from Jermaine Creekmore. Where will Jimmy Butler end up? Honestly, I would have guessed the Spurs because I thought that would have been a really good landing spot for him. Maybe they'd trade Kawhi to the Timberwolves or something. I don't know. But Jimmy Butler on the Spurs would have been nice. Jimmy Butler to the Celtics isn't going to end up happening. That's 3 years too late. And I don't think Butler is going to force his way to the Knicks. I think Jimmy Butler is going to stay on the Timberwolves for this upcoming season, and then he's going to leave and make that Timberwolves trade for Jimmy Butler one of the worst trades in the NBA. Can you imagine giving up Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, and Lauri Markkanen for 2 years of Jimmy Butler, one of which you ended up with the 8th seed in the Western Conference and got swept in the first round? Not great, people. Not great at all for the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, let's get to our next question here from Chris Dickey. Why aren't we focused on the lack of effort and creativity from the likes of 20 NBA GMs who made little to no effort to improve this offseason? Well, that's a very interesting question. Look, I disagree. I don't think that we had that many players or that many GMs who didn't end up making moves. I mean, you can go through every single team in the NBA this year and commend them for one of the moves that they made this offseason, especially in the Eastern Conference. I mean, every single team is obviously trying to get better and trying to improve. But look, every single team, like I said in the East, every single team in the Western Conference this year, every single one, except for the Rockets and maybe the Portland Trail Blazers, every single team in the West improved. Every single one. All of them did. I'm talking, maybe that's not true. Maybe outside of the Pelicans because they lost DeMarcus Cousins. But, hey, they were better without Cousins last year. So, I don't know. I don't really agree with that. I don't think there was a lack of effort or creativity. But I will say this. I think this free agent class ended up being a lot less top-heavy than people ended up thinking. I think once LeBron and Paul George and Kevin Durant left, not a ton of great overall free agents. The middle class of the NBA this year, at least in the free agent market, was not that good. So that's why you didn't see any crazy signings or trades. All right, let's get to our next question here. 22 Garbage. Do you think the Kings are signing someone that will help them? Well, no. I mean, they picked up Nemanja Bjelica, which will be a nice pick, but he's kind of old. Look, you don't want the Kings to sign anyone right now. Save your money. Wait till next offseason. The Zach LaVine contract was a good attempt. Let your youngins play. Let Harry Giles get some important minutes. Marvin Bagley, De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Bogdan Bogdanovic. Let these guys play. Eventually, you don't need veterans, and you just need guys who are actually going to put up numbers for you in the future. You need to see what you have eventually, especially in someone like a Harry Giles and a Marvin Bagley. You need to know how you are going to build this team in the future. I know that the Kings have been a complete crap show over the past, 20 years, but you got to give them a chance here to rebuild, and you got to see what they're able to put out there in terms of their young talent. Noted Kings fan Leda Bond is giving me a scowl. I'm kidding. She's a Clippers fan from Sacramento, scowling me. Look, the Kings haven't been good since the Lakers beat them in 7 games with Vlad Divac. Straight up, Kings haven't been relevant since then. I think that they're doing it right, though. They're rebuilding the correct way with all this young talent that they have on the team. All right, let's get to our last question here from the ones submitted to me in our NBA mailbag. What is the contract price of Klay Thompson signing with the Warriors next offseason? Well, Klay Thompson is not going to get the Supermax. He is not eligible, or at least at this time. He could end up being, but I don't think he's going to end up being eligible. He is someone, though, that is eligible for the 7 to 9 year maximum contract. and it was this year. I'm going to open up my little handy-dandy book here. The price for a 5-year contract for someone that has been playing for a team between 7 and 9 years that was on the same team with their bird rights was $177.5 million total, which means that by next year, it's going to be about $180 million. And that is my prediction for what Klay Thompson is going to get from the Golden State Warriors. I think that we're going to see him he's going to be on the Warriors. If there's any player on this team, whether it's Kevin Durant or Draymond Green or anyone that is going to leave the Warriors, Klay Thompson is probably the least likely of any player. Why would Klay Thompson leave? Out of any player on the Warriors, out of everyone on that team, he has the best reason not to leave. He is a surefire Hall of Famer if he stays. He has been a part of one of the greatest basketball runs in the history of the sport. The team is perfectly built around his strengths. He has no real interest in going to any other market. His interest in LA is completely overblown, and the dude is a shoe deal in China. Why would he leave the San Francisco market? It doesn't make any sense when they can just pay him more than any other team can. I love this concept that now that LeBron is with the Lakers, every free agent is going to go to the Lakers, and that includes Klay Thompson. I don't care that his dad played for the Lakers. I don't. I really do not care. Klay Thompson's staying with the Warriors. There's no reason for him to leave at this point. Let's continue on with our mailbag here. I got a new updated question from Facebook from Tyler saying, what can the Blazers do to improve their roster and have a chance to contend, or content, hashtag content, in the West? The Blazers, unfortunately, they need to either make a huge trade for Kevin Love and get another elite player on this team, or blow it up and start over and wait for the Warriors to go away. I love Damian Lillard. I love CJ McCollum, and I'm a big fan of Terry Stotts. I just don't think that the Blazers right now have enough talent to take on the Warriors or the Lakers or hell, the Jazz or the Spurs. They need someone like Kevin Love. They need a superstar down low to counteract Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. Let's get to our next question here from Kenny Williams. Would you consider the Cavs a playoff caliber roster still? Nope. Absolutely not. I think this team is going to blow it up by the deadline. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. In fact, if you throw it back to my Eastern Conference rankings, I have the Cavs coming in 10th in the East next year. No way the Cavs make the playoffs unless they make a move. They just don't have enough talent. I mean, it's sad to say in a weak East that the Cavs aren't going to make the playoffs, but I think that Colin Sexton's going to need at least a year, if not a year and a half, before he ends up being a really, really impactful NBA point guard. Got another question here from Malcolm. How do you feel about the Mavericks? Boom, baby. I think the Mavericks are going to be one of the more surprising teams in the NBA this year. I don't think they end up making the playoffs, but I think they're going to be a really, really fun team to track next year. Luka Doncic is my choice for Rookie of the Year. I think him and Dennis Smith Jr. is a fantastic combo along with DeAndre Jordan. This is going to be a really good team. I think the West is simply too good for the Mavericks to make the playoffs. If the Mavs were in the East, they're the 5 seed, for sure. But they're in the West. They might end up being the 10, 11, or 12 seed. That's how good the Western Conference is. One more question here from Kenny asking, how do we submit questions? Follow me on Twitter @SportsDean. Ask me your questions using hashtag HarrisBag, and I will get your questions into my mailbag next week when we have them. Thank you for submitting your questions. We will do this again for sure. That was a lot of fun for me. Thank you guys for your questions. But that's going to do it for me today. Remember to subscribe to us here on YouTube for all the best sports content. And one more time, give me that sweet, sweet follow on Twitter @SportsDean. We might have a little bit of a breaking news story coming up in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday morning.